Hi, fans of high quality live chats. I am with Glen Kellaway from the basement. And I hope everyone's doing well. I'm just going to set up, make sure this is working on Facebook. So, Glen, tell us something. Tell us something. What's going on? What's your latest video on?
Well, let's talk about the theme that's kind of going viral in the vinyl community, the one that 10 albums I listen to the most. I can't believe in 4 days I almost have 2,000 views. That's kind of a lot of views for me. So, and a lot of people have been doing this, and people seem to be liking the thread, but it's not really your 10 favorite albums. It's kind of like an analogy would be like, I'm really hungry and I've got the whole world of restaurants out there. I'm going to go and have a burger. It's it's comfortable.
Yeah,
they're the records that are kind of comfortable.
Yeah.
So, but it's a fun one.
So, for that thread, is it for their whole lifetime or just recently? Because the way I did it, it's for my
no. I think I did it. Albums. Some of them were. But no, I think the most newest one I did was English Settlement.
But I'm saying when you're picking your favorite albums, is it your favorite albums of all time, going all the way back? That's the way I did mine.
Well, I didn't. I just kind of went, hey, like there's certain albums that are kind of like, pretty much all the Beatles albums. Like if I just can't think of what to listen to, I nothing thrilling me. There's just kind of a record I can put on and I know I'm going to like it.
Yeah.
So
what we are going to do first, before we answer hundreds and hundreds of questions from our fans, two questions.
We're already off to a bad start. He called us gentlemen.
Yeah. So what we wanted, this idea, I was going to do a video, and then I thought, no, I'll get my buddy Glen involved in this. Imagine that there's 10 albums that you absolutely love in your music collection, and you wish everyone that your viewers, your friends, your family had these albums in their collection and loved them too. Not that they're going to love all of them, but at least check them out. So hopefully this inspires some of you out there to check out some of the albums you might not be familiar with, except for Glen's, because Glen's probably will suck. So I'll just get a few questions, comments here, and then we'll start. Hello, guys. Jamie King.
Hello, Jamie.
Pet sounds. Would that make your list? We'll see.
The reason that wouldn't make my list is because it's such a well-respected album. Like everybody knows it, so it's not. I don't know. I think we're kind of looking for something that, I don't know. I don't know what the hell we're looking for, Larry.
Mm-hmm.
Great idea, Larry.
Thank you, Scott. Hi, Scott. Okay, so here we go. So, not trying to be rude, but I might ignore questions for 10 minutes or so. So don't ask any questions for a few minutes. Glen, you go first.
Okay.
10 albums.
Larry, I'm going with this one. And I know I turned you on to this on a CD exchange, and you like it. Pretty Things, Parachute.
Glen, just a minute. Our first matchup.
This is a freaking great album.
It is.
It's fantastic. It was
is.
recorded at Abbey Road. I think
was.
It's around 1970, right? Recorded around there?
1970.
And very Beatle-ish in a way, like the harmonies and stuff. Like if you like the Beatles, there's no reason you wouldn't absolutely love every note of this album. It's fantastic, and no one ever talks about it.
Yeah.
Ever.
So it's the Pretty Things, Parachute. Now more people talk about the previous album, which is good. I really like it too.
Yeah.
But this is my favorite of the ones I've heard.
Oh, it's different from the early stuff, which sounds more like the Stones, early Stones.
Yeah. And here's one comment here. Parachute is amazing.
Thank you. Why don't more people talk about Parachute?
Yeah.
Mordant films.
All right. That's one out of the way. It'd be funny, all 10 of ours match up.
Yeah.
Okay. My first choice besides The Pretty Things, is a Canadian band. I could have picked any of their early-ish albums. I think, they're pretty well known everywhere. I've said this before. And they're known for a lot of hit songs. They're not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They had an amazing singer and guitarist in the band. They are the Guess Who with Share the Land, right, Glenn? You
My
can't go
favorite
wrong
Guess
with
Who
that.
album.
Is it? Yeah.
Canada's greatest band, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. And they do pop rock, but they also do heavy stuff like Hang On to Your Life. That is heavy, man.
Yep.
Great harmonies. And so this would be just a starting off point if you've never heard a Guess Who album. And, you just know American Woman and some of their hits. Highly underrated as a album band.
Great album.
Yeah, great album.
I'm next. Another one that I know you like. Why don't more people talk about these guys? Pato.
Yeah.
The first Pato album is I think there's only 3.
Yep.
Might be 4. I don't know. But
4, I believe.
Yeah, but
the fourth wasn't released right away. Yeah.
This one freaks me out. It is just so awesome. I absolutely love every note of this album. Just great guitar work, great vocal.
Yeah.
Every song is good. I mean, these guys are amazing.
Yeah. If you like great classic rock, there you go. And bluesy.
Yeah, bluesy and British, a bit of even a jazzy tone in a couple of songs like that.
Very inventive guitarist. And
am I doing this right, Larry?
You're doing it good so far. Yeah. All right, next up. Now, this person is very well known. And this album is even maybe very well known, but I don't think, it's got its fans, and then it's probably got people that love this artist and they never even have bothered listening to this. But it is probably my second favorite album by Paul McCartney, Chaos and Creation in the Backyard.
That is a good pick.
You need to listen to this again, though, Glenn, because I know the producer is Radiohead's producer, and I think one thing he did was with Paul McCartney, he kind of bossed Paul McCartney around a little bit and said, no, that's not good enough, right? Like with his songs. And it worked for him because that's my second favorite album. Plus the lyrics. In the earlier days, he didn't always write the greatest lyrics, but now they're more personal, and his vocals is just, when his vocals are starting to age, but he's still just brilliant. So if you're a Paul McCartney fan and you haven't really listened to this, I highly recommend you do. Chaos and Creation in the Backyard.
That's a good choice, Larry, because when people are ranking Paul McCartney albums and say they're top 10, like that one doesn't get a lot of, it's spelled Pato, Patto. Here, let me,
don't get Glenn mad.
I'll take this. I should have taken the thing out of the cover.
Yeah. Kind of a stupid album cover, but
it's
kind of neat though too, I guess.
Hope you can see that.
Yep.
There you go.
Okay,
Pato.
That Pato album, UK original, was done on the Vertigo label.
This will help them out, Larry. You can read that.
Okay, yep.
It's in Chinese, Larry.
Oh. I know Chinese, Glenn.
It's a Japanese issue they have.
Parachute was named Rolling Stones Album of the Year in 1970, ahead of Let It Be, yeah. Burden Cummings is right up there with Gordon Lightfoot, in my opinion, yeah. Hello, everyone. Is this the Phil McCracken show? Yes, it is. Is Chaos and Creation about the passing of Linda? No. But it might have a song or two about her. Hello.
Michael?
But it's kind of a serious album. Hi, guys. And remember, Glenn, no sparks.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Thanks, Bob.
I don't have any sparks in this list. I'm sorry. Okay.
Bob, I'm
Who's
going to get
next?
Janet to take your.
Who's next? Is it the who's next?
No, I'm going with somebody obscure, but I talk about her all the frickin' time, and no one else ever does.
Somebody out
Ever,
there
ever.
might just check it
And
out.
one of my favorite artists, not classic where it's brand, it's like more alt punky country.
Tammy Wynette.
This woman right here, her name is Lydia Lovelace.
Yeah, I've heard of her. Yeah.
And I love this album, Lydia Lovelace, Somewhere Else. This is a great album. Jangly pop. It's got those like Rickenbacker jangly guitars and great pop songs and kind of dirty lyrics in some cases. She's got a bit of a trucker's mouth, but not with swear words, just the subject matter.
Yeah.
And it's just a great album. All her albums are great. I just love this woman. Like, she's one of my absolute favorite artists. And she has a new album coming out in September.
Yeah.
But
Matthew Lockwood. Loveless is great.
Somewhere Else, this is called. There. Get my obscure ones out of the way.
Any Canterbury bands popping up in the lists?
I didn't do that. I was going to include Caravan and stuff, but I figure the fans of those bands are like really avid fans. So, yeah, Pato's great.
Linda Lovelace. Say what?
Lydia Loveless. Lydia Loveless. I am not a Smiths fan.
Lydia Lunch is badass. I saw Ween live on Friday and they were amazing. That's cool, Paul. Hey, Larry. Hey, Sean. Glenn loves her.
I love her.
And one other one. I saw Caravan live last year and they were great.
Wow.
Okay. So this next one is an album that I gave to Glenn in one of our recent CD exchanges because one of the times I was listening to it, and I loved it so much. It was like, Glenn would love this. But, you never know, right? There's been albums you thought I would love and probably didn't like. And Glenn ended up buying. What's that? Yeah.
There's one of those coming.
Yeah, cool. Coliseum Valentine Suite.
I bought it.
Yes, you did. Remember?
Yeah, I love it.
He's trying to remember. He was confused for a second. Yeah, if you love, it's a mixture of jazz, rock, bit of prog. I don't know. How would you?
Yeah, it's jazz rock. I would call it more than
some jamming in it. Great vocals.
Yeah.
So yeah, and this is highly recommended. Check some of these out on Spotify. You don't have to rush out and buy them.
And some names you might know, like Clem Clemson plays guitar on that, who was with Humble Pie for a while, and Dick Hextall Smith, who has I don't know whether the bands he was in, but he does have a bit of a resume with Jack Bruce and people like that. So. Yeah. Very cool. Okay, Larry, let me get the other one out of here that's going to make you laugh. I love this freaking album. It was my number one album of the year.
I'm going to get ready
to hated it, but I got to promote it. And it's an album that nobody talks about, or an artist no one talks about. Kurt Weill. Watch My Moves. This album is incredible. It's so good. It's so moody and so quirky, and
it got me in a great mood, Glenn.
Oh man, I'm telling you, you didn't eat enough tomato soup when you listened to this, Larry.
Yeah,
a fantastic record. My record of the year in 2022 or whenever.
It's like stoner, not rock, but stoner.
Yeah, just stoner.
Songwriters, stoners, kind of like Neil Youngish.
It's like Neil Young being smoking a big fat doobie and then writing songs and singing them.
And just writing anything. Like
it's a fantastic album.
Yeah. Now, here you go again. I didn't care for it, but that doesn't mean you won't like it or love it. So check it out.
Okay, most everything else I got's more.
Steve Marowette. Yeah, he was in Humble Pie. Jazz rock is ruled by Wyatt era soft machine.
Yeah, soft machine.
It should be on there. I don't know what to say, but it's on there. Maybe when Glenn is doing his next, I'll try and look for it and put the link here. Sorry. Coliseum Kicks Arse.
Wow.
I just bought that Coliseum album. Cool.
Me too, Michael.
Kurt Vile did a decent album with Dinosaur Jr.
I don't know that. Maybe I should look them up. Thank you.
Diana Shore Jr. is pretty cool.
Dinah Shore Jr. Is that a serious thing? No. Okay. All right. I'm slow.
Next up, this is my favorite album by Elvis Costello. You have one of the Elvis Costellos in our recent CD exchange. And if you like Americana, if you like, it's just, I think probably some of his best vocals. It is King of America.
Not my favorite, but it is good album.
Well, you need to listen to it more, Glenn. I'll put this in a.
It would be my fifth favorite, Larry.
Yeah. Help me out there, people. Who loves King of America by Elvis Costello? Yeah, it's a bit, some of it's a bit more laid back, but I don't know. I just love it.
Yeah, I like the first. I just the thing with Elvis Costello is the first three albums are so magical and so great. Everything else just kind of is like those three are up here, and then they start to, you can almost shuffle them. Okay. You want to look for something, and I'll extend this. So, the Eagles are in the news right now because of passing of Randy Meisner, incredible singer, strongly missed in the Eagles as far as I'm concerned when he left the band. They weren't as good without him. And but Joe Walsh joined the band, and prior to that, Joe Walsh put out an album called Barnstorm.
I've got that because of the CD exchange. I was impressed with it.
This is Joe Walsh's best album as far as I'm concerned, and not spoken about enough. It has a real mood to it. It flows all through. It's almost like an Astro Weeks type, not musically like Astro Weeks, but it has that same kind of ambiance. It's like the songs kind of flow together. It's very acoustic and just a beautiful album. Joe Walsh Barnstorm, one of my favorite albums of all time.
Yeah, I recommend it too. Yeah, I don't get the attraction with most of Elvis's catalog. Get that, Glenn?
I get that.
Okay.
That's Dan with he's back.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
He is. I bust a gut every time I read Dan's things. Like I can't even control myself. It's so funny.
Larry, I think if you bought Metallica's and Justice for All, you might enjoy it a bit. It's quite proggy. And by the way, for my Spotify playlist, it wasn't on public, so it should work now. I apologize for that. Spent the last year shipbuilding. Avant-garde jazz sounds like elephants mating. I hate it. I love the sound of elephants mating. I don't know about you.
Like George Harrison said, I haven't got a clue.
Yeah. Love Walsh.
Yeah, the James Gang albums are great.
Yeah. Brilliant Mistake. Elvis Costello. Armed Forces.
My favorite too, Paul.
Okay, next up. And I'm kind of thinking you might have this in your collection. I mean, for this and in your collection, I know you have it. And he was on a live chat a few months ago. It's Arthur Brown's Kingdom Come with Galactic Zoo Dossier. Oh, he's getting the album out. Yes, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I don't have that. Now I'm jealous.
And
But
you don't have it autographed either. Like.
no. But Arthur Brown, what a character. And the thing is with him, I knew about him for years and years and years, the song Fire and all that. But when Glen gave me this in one of her CD exchanges, I was blown away. I have the box set for all three of the Kingdom Come albums. I love all three of them. And then, his earlier stuff, his later stuff. He's a great singer. Oh my God. And a great band on this. You've never heard this? Check it out.
I agree. One of my top 10 albums of all time, this one.
So you tell us a bit about it too.
If you don't know anything about it, then just Google or do a YouTube search for a song called Sunrise. I think that'd be the kind of the best song to listen to. It's got the most incredible guitar lead in it and great vocal. This is just it's certainly an acquired taste, this album. Like when you first hear it, you kind of go, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
And then the other two are worse for that.
Yeah.
But it took me like a couple right away. You hear it and you go, oh, there's a lot of cool stuff in this album. But the more you listen to it, the more you go, oh man, that's incredible. Like this keeps getting better and better.
Favorite type of bread? We'll get to those burning questions later on, right, Glen? I think I would like Kansas. I haven't really, I know a couple of their songs, but from what I've heard, besides the hit singles, they are good. I think Glen would like them too.
I think I might like the first couple albums. After a while, they started to just get a bit too polished.
Well,
hey, take care, Bob.
Bye, Bob. He's had enough of us.
Yeah. Janet's calling. I can hear it in the background. Bob, get off the phone.
Yeah. I love the first Roxy Music album and Avalon.
I only have Avalon. I've never heard another Roxy Music album besides Avalon. Okay.
I don't know if you
like them.
I don't know. I don't.
Do you like them?
Yeah. Yep. Oh, it's Sam St. John.
Oh, John St. Sam.
Yeah.
Sam, I sent you an email yesterday about an artist called Ian Noe, N-O-E. If you're a John Prine fan, check this guy out. I saw somebody talking about him on their channel, and I thought, I got to see, and I went on Spotify. If you like John Prine, you'll freaking love this guy.
Yep.
Arthur Brown is still kicking. He puts out all kinds of stuff on Instagram and new albums.
And you know what? He's a decent fellow.
Really good guy.
Yeah.
He's a friend.
Yep. He's friends of ours.
Arthur is art.
Hey. The Residents should be on this list. I have their Duck Stab album. Which
another band I've never listened to.
Sounds familiar.
Shadows of Night. Didn't they do the hit of Gloria in the 60s?
Magnum Opus.
They're the two Kansas albums.
Yep.
Avalon.
I saw Roxy with Eno. Wow.
I took Eno when I had an upset stomach.
Yeah.
I still need to listen, Glenn. I'm excited. Be excited. Be very excited, Sam.
Yep. Talk. They were a great band. Kansas is amazing prog.
How come they just weren't called Talk?
Yeah, I know.
It seems like a waste. Larry.
Well, why was the called the? They could have been called the.
Whose turn is it, Larry? Is it mine? I think we should just all start saying
1, 2, 3. I've got 4 left. How many do you have left?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, you go next. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to go again with relatively. Well, they've been around a while now, and I just saw them live a couple of weeks ago. Incredible live band. They're on tour right now. Tedeschi Trucks Band, any of their albums.
Yeah, that's a really good album.
The project they worked on last year called I Am the Moon, it was 4 albums, came out in a 4-month period.
I was over the
brilliant.
moon when I heard that album.
They're brilliant.
Yep.
Nobody's talking about Tedeschi Trucks but me. I don't get it.
Somebody out there, go check out what we're talking about.
And if they're come to your town, just go see them. My wife went with me, and she loved it.
Yeah. You need to hear early Roxy, reminiscent of Bowie's glam rock. Music Talk with John. Look, he's all excited. Larry Glenn.
Yeah. Isn't it too hot for you to be walking, John? Love the.
Yeah, Glenn reviewed it. He didn't care for it. Or was
Yeah,
that? No. That was.
No, I haven't. I've never listened to the Frippino stuff, and I'm such a huge Robert Fripp fan.
I got dark. Either. Yeah. Thank you, Paul. You're the one that gave me Ducks Down.
I didn't put any Zap on my list. I think I could have included any of them, but because it's just not really mainstream, like people just don't get it. If they don't get it, they don't get it.
Yeah.
But so I didn't include it because.
Okay. So I put something that's kind of mainstream. It's blues rock, but it's my favorite blues rock band. I could have picked any of their albums. So if you like blues rock, great guitar work, really great vocals, especially the one singer. Canned Heat, Future Blues, right, Glenn? Alan Wilson, I love his vocals especially.
Yeah.
The one big hit on here is Let's Work Together, but the whole album. I highly recommend, if you haven't heard it, Canned Heat, Future Blues.
What Larry said.
And they actually went to the moon. The first blues rock band to go to the moon ever.
Yeah. That's a conspiracy theory that they really didn't go to the moon, that they just did it in a studio. But no, Canned Heat really went to the moon. Okay. Larry, this is one of the biggest bands of all time. But there's about 3 different versions of the band, and this is the least, I think, favorite version for everybody, but my favorite. Deep Purple, Mach 1 with Rod Evans singing. That's when Deep Purple was their best. I don't care about people talk about Machine Head and In Rock and all that. This is the album.
Yep.
Self-titled, their 3rd album, just called Deep Purple. It's got that Hieronymus Bach, or whatever his name was, cover. It's very proggy. It's got that song April on it, which is like 8 or 9 minutes long. Absolutely brilliant. Chasing Shadows. What other great songs are on here? The Painter is on here. Why Didn't Rosemary? This is just a brilliant freaking album. And again, one of my favorite albums.
I have it in my CD collection too. I love them.
Man, but no way. Everybody's going, Machine Head.
I should have picked a Uriah Heep album. I was going to pick Demons and Wizards, but it is pretty well known. But still, if no one's heard an album like that, they need to. All right. Next up, once again, a very well-known band. But, just like most bands, their earlier stuff is usually more loved than the later stuff for most fans. But I feel their later albums with John Anderson were very underrated, and possibly my favorite, and Glenn's too, he loves this album, is Magnification.
I was going to pull that.
It's with the orchestra. So there's no keyboards.
Yeah.
And like, if you love early Yes, I don't understand why this isn't loved as much as their earlier stuff, because
I agree. It's a really good album.
Good. So
you turned me on to that album. I never would have paid any attention to it.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. People just don't. I think you assume that it's not going to be good.
Yeah.
But it's a strong album. Good choice, Larry. Are we still going here?
Yeah, I will get to any questions later. We just want to kind of get through most of this.
Well, I love Allman Brothers Live at the Fillmore too, but I don't think that would be considered an album that people aren't aware of. I think everybody knows that album.
Yeah.
I have heard Captain Beyond. I had one of their CDs once, and I really liked them, but I've never really gotten into them that much. I should check that out. Thanks, Dan. Again, one of my top 10 albums of all time. I'm not sure how many people are really aware of it. Nobody talks about it. Spirit.
Oh, I could have picked that. I agree, Glenn.
This album is fantastic.
Yep.
It's got rock. It's got some R&B, like some horns and stuff like that. Almost sounds soulful sometimes. It's kind of psychedelic. It's just got everything.
It's almost kind of similar to the Pretty Things Parachute. Like,
yeah, in
like
that
not
same vein.
Yeah, like just so good.
It is, and the vocal harmonies, and like even if you like the Beach Boys, but some of the vocal harmonies in that are kind of at that, that good, and just a brilliant record.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, there's a kind of hush all over there. It's a very nice
I saved
song.
my best for last, Larry.
Demons and Wizards is my favorite all-time song on it. Paradise the Spell.
Oh, that's a great song.
Then Early Purple is underrated.
Thank you,
Spirit, 12 Dreams. Yes's debut. Yeah, I love that too.
Yeah. That's true. That's the first.
It's great.
Yes, albums are kind of disregarded too.
Yeah. No way. I know. No way. Yeah. Billy Squire's a very excellent guitarist, and I loved his vocals.
No.
I've heard of them or her, but yes. In our CD exchange, Glenn gave me free Fire and Water, Procol Harum, Grand Hotel. Later this week, we'll be reviewing these on my channel. He gave me Jimi Hendrix Experience Access, Bold as Love.
Actually, you chose those yourself, Larry. They were
that's right too. Yeah, and Jethro Tull Benefit. And
I would be responsible for.
Is that it? And then there was one more. I don't have it here. And there was one more. Oh, King Crimson. Yeah, Islands.
And can I tell you what I got then?
Yeah.
And we're going to be reviewing them this week. And Sly and the Family Stone, Life. Elvis Costello, A Boy Named If. It's a weird name for a boy. Jane Siberry, The Walking. Kind of a more out there Canadian artist from the 80s, I guess, was she from? Alice Coltrane, John Coltrane's widow, with, I always got to look at the title, Journey in Denada with Pharoah Sanders. And the reissue of Killer, Alice Cooper.
That's a killer album.
I know why you got the title of it now.
Okay. So I'll go back a bit to the comments in a minute. We're almost done here. Okay. 2 more to go for me. This one, Glenn mentioned he was going to include, but he figured I would include. I tell you, anybody watching this, if you love music, period, you need to check out this album. It's actually kind of grown in stature over the years, but when it was released, it was kind of ignored. He was in the Byrds. It is Gene Clark, No Other. It is his vocals to begin with. They're just out of this world. And then the music. What are your thoughts on it, Glenn?
I consider it in the same vein as, like I said, with Joe Walsh's Barnstorm, with Van Morrison's Astral Weeks. It has a certain mood when you put it on that lasts all the way through it, that just goes right through you. It's just a beautiful record.
Yeah, and it's got elements of country, but it's not a country album.
No.
Country pop, but it's got it's almost like prog country pop. It's
Yeah,
everything.
the playing is brilliant. Like there's beautiful guitar and great, like you said, great vocals. The lyrics are great. The production's great. It's just the album just works. It's a perfect record.
And when it starts, it's like, oh, it kind of sounds like your typical good country pop album, but don't be fooled. It's just amazing. Yeah.
Brilliant album. Brilliant.
Your last one, Glenn.
Larry, again, this is my fifth favorite album of all time and was released in the 2000s. I know this gentleman gets lots of praise these days and everything, but this album to me is just like, from the first time I heard it, talk about brilliant, perfect, genius. Steven Wilson's Hand Cannot Erase.
Yeah.
I
agree. I got that.
The best album released in the past since English Settlement. Those two would be the best albums released in the last 40 years. This is just incredible.
Yeah.
It's got a theme to it, concept album about a woman who died tragically. Let's leave it at that. And just, it's got elements of Pink Floyd, elements of Rush, some elements of King Crimson, elements of all the prog bands, plus Steven Wilson's great vocals and words and lyrics and songs. And
it's based on a true story of this woman being run over by a lawnmower, and the scary thing is she was the one pushing the lawnmower.
Yeah. She jumped in front to pull a weed, and she forgot to turn the advance on the lawnmower. It was really sad.
Sometimes even I find myself funny. Oh, there's one to go. I wonder what I'm gonna mention.
Oh, it better not be a Sparks album. That's too.
No,
that's too
not
predictable,
Sparks.
Larry. It's too predictable.
No, it's not Sparks.
Okay.
This album, Glenn.
Sgt. Pepper.
When I was listening to it last night, I was almost at one point thinking, is this the greatest album ever?
Wow.
Because every time now, Glenn, and I'm picking up new things every time with it. I finally got it, ladies and gentlemen. And if you haven't got it yet, I recommend you keep listening. It is the Beach Boys' Pet Sound.
That's not an album that everybody knows that record.
You got it. I'm going to get you.
I don't.
Larry, it's my life
1,000 times
job to get you to love this as much as I do.
I've heard it 1,000 times.
You will.
It's a good album.
It's a great album. It's one of the greatest albums ever, Glenn.
It's not a masterpiece.
So, in one of our future CD things,
I've heard it 14 million times. I could discuss that album with you.
You were reading off the songs and you didn't even recognize what they were, like whatever that is. You got to listen, Glenn.
I'm not listening.
I'm going to get you in a headlock. And well, if you had any hair.
Noogies on my head.
Yeah. So that's about it. So
I'm getting out of here now. You've insulted me. Now you're threatening me. I'm out.
So I'll go back a bit here.
Let me say, Larry, Pet Sounds is a fine album. I do not dislike Pet Sounds. I don't think it's the best album ever made.
I think, plus with your new system, and maybe it's the 50th
Larry, I had an
anniversary
audio
mix,
recording of it.
Maybe it's the 50th anniversary mix, because I think they remixed it again. And you got to listen to it.
Please, tell them to stop it. Please.
Here we go. Y'all like the Allman Brothers?
Love the Allman Brothers.
No, I'm not big on that. Yeah. Prelude, Nothing to Hide.
Mm-hmm.
Lost is great. I'm a Krautrock nerd.
Krautrock nerds.
This one's for Glenn.
I bought a Joy Division album and don't know which one I got.
I think that's the one.
I think it is, and
that you gave to
you know
me.
what, I can't really comment because I played it once or twice, and then I found things in there that interested me, and then I never went back to it. So I should pull it out again and listen.
I meant the album, not just the song. There's a kind of hush. Okay. Yep.
All over the world tonight.
Vinyl, any CD. How about Lonesome Crow, the first Scorpions album? It was Prague and Psyche. Never heard it.
I've never heard it either. Tons of Sobs. I don't know if I've heard that one. Dan, you are so right.
Not sure. No idea.
I'm not sure about that either. I hope not. Faust 4 is insane.
No other is Genius.
It is genius. I am, Dan.
Yeah, I like him too. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Glenn almost had the opportunity of seeing
I almost
Sly and the
saw him
Family
put the
Stone.
no-show on me. Yeah.
Except they didn't show up.
I think they did that quite often in the late 60s.
Yeah, yeah. So was the crowd not kind of mad?
No, I think everybody was stoned.
Yeah.
It was 1969, Larry.
Yeah,
I don't think
they thought they saw Sly and the Family.
I don't think
they
we were ever know
thought
we were
Grand
there.
Funk Railroad was Sly and the Family.
Yeah.
It's Pleasant Valley Picker, CA. Glenn,
Art, how are you?
there you go. Gene Clark's
Seriously,
No
yes,
Other.
it is like no other. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great. Just a great
I might
album.
play it again tonight, along with Pet Sound.
I have the CD and the album and the vinyl.
Yeah, you need to get the deluxe version.
I do need to get that. Yeah, the Dillard and Clark albums, yes. Doug Dillard, great banjo player. Yes, it does. You're right. I think I like the Turn Turn album better than I like. I was having a discussion with my nephew the other day when he was here. We were listening to it. I think I like I always loved the first the Birds album, Mr. Tambourine Man, but I think I like Turn better.
Never skip leg day. That's what I always say. What is your latest update?
Never skip without your legs.
Yeah.
That would hurt.
What's your latest update on your Genesis journey?
I haven't extended it yet. I've got so much other stuff going on, man. I'm telling you, I've picked up.
You will love Nursery Crime if you love Foxtrot.
Yeah.
And you should also get Genesis Live, the first live album.
Yeah, I think I might get a live one. So I really do like live albums. So, is that better than Seconds Out, or then there were 3?
I enjoy it more, but Seconds Out is really good too. Yeah.
If you skip leg day, you'll have unbalanced muscles.
Is really today leg day? I didn't know that.
I didn't know there was such a thing.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John, very much.
That's the joy of music, right? And the fun of, that's why Glenn does his YouTube channel. And that's partially why I do my channel, is to share music. And yeah.
It is so amazing.
Yeah, we both love the Dukes of Stratosphere.
Awesome.
I have that album.
Me too.
All of it.
Yeah.
Pushing on my lawnmower. It's Sparks reference.
Grant Arthur played a track from The Raven that refused to sing last night. Blown Away. Oh, it's a great album. Yeah. After Hand Cannot Erase, The Raven is my second favorite.
Yeah.
It's a great record.
Yeah.
Pet Sounds is awesome. Although I don't know it as well as I should, according to Larry.
Small Sessions are incredible.
I've never heard that.
Favorite song on Pet Sounds?
Well, God only knows, Larry. Come on.
Well, God only knows which was my favorite. Yeah, it would probably be God Only Knows, but
That's one of the most beautiful songs ever written.
I don't know. I'm waiting for the day. Caroline, no. I don't know. Classic album review, right? Was right. Glenn and Larry disagreeing. That's right. Yeah, I love that. I've got it.
Yeah, we're disagreeing. I say it's a good album, and you say it's a great album.
No, but the Faces are not as good as a Wink to a Blind Horse.
That's a great rock album.
Surf's Up and Holland. I need to listen to those.
All the Beach Boys fans are coming out of the woodwork.
Glenn, here's a question we've
Back
never
on your
had.
surfboards and go.
Here's a question we've never had before on a live chat.
I like Steely Dan. They're I mean, quality music, interesting stuff. I wouldn't put them in my top 10 bands of all time or anything, but they're good.
Is that true? I never heard that.
Giles Martin just released a remix of Pet Sounds and Dolby Atmos.
Wow.
Do you understand what this Atmos thing is?
No. It's,
you hear the name
it's like how great can sound get? Like there's a point where there's a limit to how great it sounds.
But if something's an Atmos, don't you have to have a certain playback system to listen to an Atmos?
Yeah,
I don't get it.
Glenn, you're gonna have to buy all of your music again. Yeah, just one of the best. Yeah. Pull it out again. That's what she said. I know Larry likes Wire. Their stuff in the last 20 years has been totally worth it. Yeah, I've heard all of their stuff.
I think they're really interesting. Oh yeah, I love the Velvet Underground. Anything that involves Lou Reed, I'm in.
Yeah,
that's the only Tom Waits album you've ever heard is Swordfish Trombones. Wow, you need to check out Closing Time, the first one, which is very singer-songwriter-ish, different vocal performance than on any of his other albums. If you like blues, Blue Valentine. My favorite Tom Waits album is Bone Machine or Mule Variation, either of those. Yeah. The live album, Nighthawks at the Diner, is very cool.
Zero.
Me neither. I never saw Alice.
But I respect him. He's awesome.
But I have listened to the live album in this, Larry.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
It rocks, man. They rock live.
They were a good live band.
Yes. Well, they lost today. 10th inning home run. The Angels.
Sam, this live chat isn't about you.
Younger than yesterday, my favorite early lineup Birds. Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. They're all good.
So Gene Clark's, in the Birds, did Gene Clark have like great songs too?
Well, he didn't. I mean, he just didn't have that Roger McGuinn sound that was so popular, right? They never released anything with his, I don't think as singles, but there were some strong songs that he did on those albums. Notorious Bird Brothers. Yes, This Diamond Ring, Gary Lewis. What a classic. That was written by who? Wasn't that written by somebody at that Brill building in New York? Somebody we should know.
Lou Reed.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, there we go. Leg days when you train your legs at the gym.
We don't believe in gyms.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, if I feel like exercising, I usually lay down till the feeling goes away.
Yeah.
I was massaging my legs with a nice oil today, thinking that's what I was supposed to do.
Glenn, I don't need that image right now. I need to eat still. Yeah, Genesis 3 Sides Live. Yep.
Yeah. What do they do with the fourth side?
It's studio.
Is it in the studio?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, wouldn't it? Larry needs to delve into the rabbit hole. He needs to jump into the rabbit hole.
Well, Pierre, I've got some Buddy Miles CDs.
Larry, can I ask you your opinion? I'm not going to give my opinion on this because this is part of our CD exchange. I'm saving it for the video. But I would like your review on
I've
this.
only listened to it once, but the one time I listened to it, I totally enjoyed it. I just haven't gotten back to it.
Okay.
And that was gifted to me by a viewer, so thank you.
That's right. Yeah.
You might as well just tell me. I already know that's the album that you went crazy over.
Larry, crazy's not the word for it. The
Yeah.
first time I listened to it, unlike you, for some reason, I don't know if I think I wasn't paying enough attention to it when it was on, and so I didn't have a strong opinion of it, and I thought, nah, I'm not gonna like this as much as I thought I would. And then the second time I put it on, I really just sat and stared at the stereo and listened to it.
You started crying.
Oh, Larry, I'm telling you, I have played it 100 frickin'
Yeah.
times. I ended up, I knew I'm gonna have to give this back to Larry any day. I can't stand not being with this album. I had to order it. Like,
Yeah.
it's
But
absolutely one of the greatest jazz albums ever.
But I know we're joking and all that, and you don't care for this as much as I do. But that's the joy about music, right? It's like this album for many years. I always really liked it, but it was just another really good album. And then just
do a
one
live
time
chat showing ranking the top 10 albums we've turned each other on to.
Yeah.
Because there's at least 10, I'm sure.
Yeah. All right. Question for Larry. Who wrote and performed the Canadian Studmuffin theme song? It was a punk band. Oh, I forget the name at the moment. But they just did it for me for free and it was before YouTube, when it was on this site called Acid Planet. If I remember it, I'll mention it. But yeah. Glenn has troubles getting into that one.
That's the album that I cannot get. I'm going to give it another shot shortly.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
I think it is a very good album. It's kind of like Tales from Topographic Oceans.
I feel like there's a theme there somewhere, but I don't get it.
Yeah, but don't worry about the theme, right? Just listen to the album.
Like, it's going over my head or something. I'm going,
like
I'm missing.
Like the story and the concept. I don't care about it.
But The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, Larry.
Who cares? Just listen to the...
Why did the lamb lie down on Broadway? I need to know.
Now, do you know the song Carpet Crawlers?
Yes.
From that, because that is one of the
that's
best
considered a big
Genesis
hit, kind of.
2000s? What? No. We're back in the 60s.
I mentioned three. I mentioned a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Stephen Wilson's Hand Cannot Erase, 2017, I think, maybe. Lydia Lovelace, Somewhere Else. Tedeschi Trucks, wherever that is. I Am the Moon, just came out last year. And what else? That's Kurt Weill, Watch My Moves, again last year. 4 of my albums were from the 2000s.
Yes, Magnification from the early 2000s, I think. Most of my stuff's earlier stuff. And Paul McCartney, Chaos and Creation in the Backyard. Yeah.
I reminded.
And got the first six you two suggested.
Oh, really?
Wow.
You have the first 6? Wow.
I rewinded and I got the first 6 you two suggested. You mean you physically bought them, or you're going to listen to them? People are actually listening to us, Glenn. That's weird.
Crazy. Then we should give them some good public service announcements, like don't run with scissors and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yep.
I wish I could have seen this new Peter Gabriel tour, because I've never seen him live, and but it was just too expensive.
20 speakers, Glenn. You're gonna have to add to your speaker collection.
Oh, man. So does that mean I have to take 2 speakers away? I have 22. Oh, minimum. Is it like a 5.1 thing, like the surround sound? Is that what it is?
I don't know. The Clash London Calling.
It is.
For
Good.
me, that is like when I bought it, I loved it so much. But it's one of those albums that is so great. It's like I don't need to really listen to it that much. It gets kind of boring because it's so good. I actually prefer like Sandinista. It's like where I enjoy an album where you kind of have to, keep listening for stuff.
Sandinista is great. I like combat rock.
Yeah. Who would you say is the greatest rock band of the modern era? For me, it's hands down Guided by Voices.
Interesting you mentioned Guided by Voices, because our good friend Scott from the Prague Corner, if you're not familiar with Scott's channel, you should check it out. He recommended Guided by Voices, so I've kind of got it on my list of bands to check out. There are some great things about the Steve Hoffman forums.
It's the same as YouTube, right? There's good and bad.
Yeah, but there's a lot of a-holes on there that are angry and just like if you say you like something, they got to every other video, every other thread that started is, I just don't get this band, or I hate this band, or I don't like
then
don't talk about them.
Go listen to something else you like, right?
How does anybody not get this band either? Like
it's like one of the, it's like, why argue over music? It's a waste of energy. Glenn likes Pet Sounds. He doesn't love it. It's his choice. I don't care. Like, love what you love, like what you like. Everybody has different opinions on music. There's people that don't like the Beatles. That's their issue to deal with.
The one thing I love about the Steve Hoffman forums, though, is like I just got recently in the last week got into this band called Cake. I got the album at a thrift store. Absolutely love it. It's called Prolonging the Magic. They've got like 2 or 3 other albums out, and so I go to the Steve Hoffman forum and I go under search and I search Cake, and then I find people's opinion. What's the next best of their album? Like, what are people thinking about? And yesterday I went to a UCD store and picked up 2 more of their albums, and it was just interesting to see what people thought I should grab and not grab. And the same with Kate Bush. I'm really kind of getting more into Kate Bush, but there are albums I just don't like by Kate Bush. And so I was kind of looking for people's, views on certain albums. But
do you ever post anything there yourself?
Lots of times.
Yeah, and you get good feedback, or
I don't start a lot of threads, but I do post. I make a lot of comments on people's threads.
Yeah. I don't believe in gyms. Oh, usually the Gene Clark songs. Poor Jim.
Who's Jim?
Because we don't like going to the gym.
Oh.
Do you think you'll ever do a video on your top 10 favorite albums? OAT. What's OAT mean?
Albums of all time, Larry.
I probably have done that before, but I could do it again. That's kind of difficult, though. Could you do a top 10 albums of all time?
I've done it, but you know what? It's changed.
Yeah.
That's my problem. I feel like I've done it now. I could do another one now, and it would be different than the last one I did.
And then if I'm being honest, I'd have like 3 or 4 Beatles songs in the top 10.
Well, I think you could do that. My top 5 never change. But after that, they like English Settlements in my top 10 now. It never would have been an album I would have, it's knocked like the Stones out and bands like Zeppelin and oh man, there's a lot of
Al Cooper. I still want to get at some point that Blood, Sweat, and Tears album, because I really
This Diamond Ring was written by Al Cooper. Thank you. I knew it. Somebody was very cool. Thanks, Martin.
You've never heard any Al Cooper solo album?
Yes.
Yeah.
I Stand Alone and Yeah, I've heard a couple of them. For surrounding you, yeah. So it's a surround sound thing. That's why.
Thank you very much. I'm the
I am the
Canadian
Canadian
Studmuffin, and
Studmuffin.
this is my theme song. I'm trying to remember the band's name. Bugs me.
Sex Pistols? Was it them?
Yeah, it was the Sex Pistols. Yeah. I'm the Canadian Studmuffin. This is my theme song.
Go Leafs go. It's kind of like a chant.
Maybe it's the wine that I can't remember. The Lamia. Yeah.
The Lamia on Lamb. Is that something I should know about?
Genesis, the Lamb.
Oh, okay.
You're talking about songs on the album, Glenn. That's
Okay,
why you
yes,
need
yeah,
to recheck it again. And don't worry about the story or anything.
I haven't seen Oppenheimer yet, and I haven't been to a movie theater since the first Iron Man movie came out, I think.
I
But
haven't been to the movies since yesterday, like the movie yesterday.
I want to see Oppenheimer, though.
Why don't we go together
Let's go, Larry.
and
Well,
hold hands?
and share popcorn?
No, I'd rather go with Molly. Thank you, Glenn.
Yeah. I like going to movies by myself, to tell
Do
you
you?
the truth.
I've
Yeah.
done that a long time ago. And have a good cry, right?
I'm not going to see Barbie.
We should go see Barbie and do a
Yeah.
review. I've heard of them, yeah.
Silver Apples. No, never heard of them. Did he? Lou Reed
Yep.
hated the Beatles? Is that
Oh,
true?
Yep. No, Frank Zappa. Well, sometimes it was just like
I
a
don't
bit
think
of
that's true.
jealousy, and it's not necessarily true.
I don't think that's true.
No, he did some Beatles songs, and he wasn't joking. Like I don't know. I think he respected them. He played with John Lennon.
Well, we're going to find out if Larry likes Axis Bold as Love. We did it on the CD exchange coming up. I like all three of the studio albums. Oh man, I'm jealous, Paul.
Nice.
Tony Levin's playing with him, my favorite bass player of all time.
Royce in the hall. Thank you.
Thanks, Royce.
Sam Sarah. Hey guy. Hey guy. Who are some of your favorite vocalist singing styles? I just like unique singers for the most part. They don't have to be, I'm into the like Captain Beefheart, Russell Mail of Sparks, just different, unique. They, I'm not saying they're not good singers, but they're different.
Yeah, if I like it, a vocal's got to have character, right?
Yeah, like
they don't have to have a beautiful voice like Whitney Houston.
Because it can be boring, right? Like if
Yeah.
a singer's just a great singer, it can be boring.
Yeah, I agree.
Robert Plant's a great singer. He's got character in his vocals.
Yeah. Yeah, so my favorite vocalists are like Bob Dylan, Tom Waits.
Look, it's Michael
And,
Nolan, The Bottom Line.
Hey, Michael.
Michael, if you want to join us, I'll send you a link. Let me know. Glenn's had a bit of wine, though. He's been drinking.
Yeah, in my Tampa Bay Blu-rays glass.
Everybody should be subscribed to Michael Nolan, The Bottom Line's channel. It's excellent.
Absolutely. Can't miss YouTube TV. Yeah, Paul, that's a great album. It's so good. Album tier lists.
Yeah, but when we rank albums and do top, it's just for we don't take it that seriously because your opinion changes in time anyway.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a big fan of spicy food. Are
Not
you?
too spicy. Little time, just enough so you recognize the spice.
Larry, how come you don't do many videos on Pink Floyd? I've done quite a few. If you, in my search on my front page, put in Pink Floyd, I've rated albums, I've reviewed albums, I've done unboxings. They're just, I love Pink Floyd, but just a lot of bands I do on my channel.
I almost included a Pink Floyd album in our little exercise today. I was thinking of some of the earlier pre Dark Side albums that don't, like, everybody loves Dark Side and Wish You Were Here and The Wall. They're like the three, and Animals. I like the stuff before that, like Metal and Obscured by Clouds. Favorite album songs by year, not necessarily year they were released, but when
that would take a long time to do.
That would be hard to remember when you first year you played it, though.
Yeah,
That'd be a hard one to just. You'd be
but
guessing.
thank you for the question.
But I'll tell you, when did you give me English Settlement? Oh no, you didn't. No, Black Sea.
No.
When did you give me Black Sea?
Well,
Was that last year?
Like a year ago. Yeah.
That changed my life, Larry.
Hello, Terry.
Hey, Terry.
He's in Niagara. I like Lou Reed, but I'd like to listen to some John. He was in Velvet Underground. Favorite Frank Zappa album cover? I think
Whoa.
Well, We're Only in It for the Money's got to be the best.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But then Hot Rats is pretty cool.
I kind of like the Waka Jawaka and Grand Wazoo. I really like those two covers. They're kind of
Weasels Ripped My Flesh. I love that.
Yeah, that's a good one. He's got a lot of great covers.
Do a review of Barbie dressed in pink.
That'd be funny. I don't own any pink, but
yeah,
agreed,
I love that.
Martin agreed. I gave Larry that Child is Father to the Man album in a review. You like that one, right?
Yeah, I want to get it someday. Yeah. Rubber Soul is way too high, overrated as compared to.
I do not agree.
I don't agree, but that's fine. That's your opinion. Yeah. We won't argue about it. Yeah, Silver Apples. Oh well.
And Paul McCartney probably doesn't like Phil Collins. I would suggest if we're doing a list of wankers, I would rank Phil Collins high up on the wanker list over Paul McCartney. That's for sure. Long John Baldry's great. That album with Don't Try and Lay No Boogie, It Ain't Easy. That's a really good album. And Long John Baldry, who ended up immigrating to Canada, and we used to see him at that Nob Hill Hotel in Scarborough. I mean, this guy became like a bar band in Canada, but he is just a legend in Britain. I mean, Elton John named himself after Long John Baldry, and he played with Rod Stewart. I mean, this guy had a career over in Britain. I don't like him.
I like them, but I don't own any of their music.
The world is a worse place with ABBA on it.
I can't believe I never discovered Black Sabbath's live album called The End until a few weeks ago. I recommend it in your collection. Have you guys heard it? No, I haven't. Nope.
I have never heard a live Black Sabbath album.
Michael, Barbie indeed. Are you freaking kidding me? My daughters are all grown up, so Barbie and I have an agreement. She stays out of my world and I won't cut her hair. By the way, I'm painting, so next week. Yes, Michael.
Okay.
We should set up a live chat.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I have two daughters that are grown up, and I'm not going to ask them to go see Barbie with me.
I have two sons that are grown up. I'm not going to ask them to see Barbie. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
I have a prediction, though. The whole world is going to be walking around in pink in the next couple of weeks. It's just going to be outrageous. I don't know any of those bass players.
Mike Watt, I've heard of. Yep, I like ELO more than The Move.
I've never listened to The Move. I was talking to a buddy the other day who's really getting into The Move, and he thinks they're amazing. I've never listened to it.
Yeah, they were good. You'd like them, I think. Nope.
Larry turned me on to an album yesterday. He sent me an email about an album called California Rock.
That was good.
I went on Spotify and I listened to like the first
right away. I was
seconds
impressed
of each song or something, Larry.
And Doug's vocals were really good.
Where did that album? Is that Doug Clifford from?
Yeah, that's him singing.
CCR?
Yes.
Wow. And
Yeah.
Bobby Whitlock is such a great vocalist. Anything he does is good.
Yeah, I'm hoping to. I wrote to Doug, his Facebook page. I might have to try elsewhere, but I'd love to interview him about that. And I saw him on a recent interview, and he's kind of telling his, not really get into any details, but a little bit of his side of the story with John Fogerty. And you gotta, it just sucks what happened, but you gotta understand they've got their side of the story to tell too, right?
Well, like they say, there's always three sides to a story:
Yeah.
your side, my side, and the truth. Right?
It's the Prog Corner.
Scott, we were just talking about you, buddy.
Everybody subscribe to the Prog Corner and unsubscribe from my channel. That's
Scott,
how much
I
I
don't know
love
if
the
you
Prog
know,
Corner.
but inadvertently you turned me on to Cake. I saw the Cake album behind you on one of your videos, and then I found it in a thrift store, Prolonging the Magic, and I'm freaking out over this Cake band. They're amazing. So thank you. Yeah, that's great, Paul. Yeah, the pre-Dark Side stuff is just brilliant.
Alan.
Oh,
I never really got into them.
I love 10 Years After.
Yeah.
Man, Elvin Lee, monster guitar player.
Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Larry, I'm going to give you a 10 Years After album for our exchange.
Okay. I love the way the guy on the right says wanker.
Do I say it funny or just that I say it? Wanker. Wanker.
It makes me laugh.
Wanker.
It makes me giggle, Glenn.
The guy on the right. I'm known as the guy on the right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great album. ABBA is on the wall. That's right.
Are they up there? Do they have a place on the...
Right there.
Oh, geez.
Right.
I didn't know that. I might have
there,
to...
right there.
Huh.
John Lennon liked ABBA. Yeah.
A lot of Stephen Wilson loves ABBA.
Yeah. I love Phil Collins. Yeah.
I like, I don't have a problem.
He is such an underrated drummer.
Yeah, he was a good drummer. I back in the day when he was like doing Face Value and those albums,
oversaturated.
He did some great, cool stuff. From a human aspect, like someone who...
Probably John Lennon, because I like to be real. And Paul could, back in the day, he was more, he would like hide himself a bit, be a little phony, I guess. Not so much now, but.
And Larry does these nude pictures of himself for album covers and stuff.
I keep it real.
Yeah. Larry's not circumcised either.
No, not now. Sgt. Pepper. I finally decided.
With the Beatles, it's the greatest album of all time, in my opinion. I think it's a fantastic album, but beautiful. Norman Watt Roy played with Ian Drury and the Blockheads. Yeah, I've never listened to Ian Drury and the Blockheads.
Two Virgins.
I'll tell you, I think Colin, what's his name from XTC?
Colin Corner would let us know if he's still here. Colin,
he's a great bass player. I love him.
Like McCartney, very melodic.
Told a story in his book about working with Paul at the Queen's Jubilee, I think it was, and Paul came across as snobby or something like that. They worked together before that.
And Paul wrote to him after he read that in the book, and I think they kind of...
Oh, did he?
Yeah. It was just him. Phil was kind of whining.
I'll tell you, I think Paul is anything but snobby.
No. I mean, but who can't be snobby? Like, you can be snobby. I can be snobby.
Who knows what was going on that day and what he was involved with and going through his head. Yeah.
Glenn can be really snobby.
Not a gamer.
Are any of you know? I used to play games back in the day.
The first Nintendo game with Super Mario, that was the only one I had, I think.
Why are you so offended by Barbie and Pink, Glenn?
I am not offended by it at all. I think it's just. I mean, it's like when something
You're
catches
getting in
on,
trouble.
but you know when something gets popular and then they ruin it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say. It's like it's going to get ruined.
I think
gonna
he's
be
kind
everywhere.
of joking there too,
Yeah.
but he could be. You know, let's not get into politics. But
What I think,
Glenn and I are very open about people can do whatever the frig they want.
yeah,
We're not.
I think they're just going to ruin it really fast. It's going to get overblown. You're going to see it everywhere to the point where it's just going to stop with the Barbie already. Like that's what's going to happen. But what I'm happy about is that there's blockbuster movies coming out that people are going back to the movie theater to see. I can't remember the last time like two movies like Oppenheimer and Barbie got so much press and people were going back into the theaters, which is good.
I love the move. Yeah. My vocal range is mezzo soprano, whatever that is. Same as Janis Joplin, Taylor Swift, Madonna, Karen Carpenter, Frida.
Wow, I have never seen Janis Joplin's name associated with Taylor Swift, Madonna, Karen Carpenter, and Frida from ABBA. Which one of these does not belong?
Favorite Nesmith album, Loose Salute for me. I really like The Prison when you gave that one to me, Glenn.
Yeah, that's a good one, Loose Salute. Wow, that's good. Larry views the Vagematic. It slices, yeah.
It slices, it dices.
It makes julienne fries.
Michael, you just go back to painting.
Yeah. Yeah, leave the comedy to us, Michael.
I don't know if Scott's still here. He saw that Glenn was in the live chat and he left quickly.
Yeah.
Frillies.
Stephen Wilson is a fan, thinks the two greatest pop bands of all time are the Beatles and ABBA. So that's right from his mouth.
Never heard them.
Yeah, they're okay.
Yeah, I could agree with you on that.
Bill Collins was a great
drummer.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Stuart Copeland's another great drummer.
Yeah, there you go.
Colin Molden. Thank you. I couldn't remember his last name. Great, really inventive bass player.
Paul seems down to earth guy for who was on top of it for a long.
Yeah,
well, he's still on top of it.
I think Paul's still the kind of guy who likes to go down to the pub and have a beer.
Yeah,
it's very,
Yeah. You try being Paul McCartney, right, Glenn?
I think,
I think they were all
the Beatles really
overall. They took it pretty well for being, unlike some superstars.
I think that's what they were bitter about, and some of the stuff that angered them so much was the fact that they just couldn't be anything but Beatles. Like they couldn't live normal lives.
Oh yeah.
And they were normal people who grew up in middle class homes. Heather Mills got oh yeah, there we go. Dan's good.
The second most important
band after the Beatles.
Is that the second we love the most after the Beatles? It would be Sparks for me, but the most important.
Well, for me, the most important artist / band is Bob Dylan after the Beatles. But if I have to pick a band, you say what's important or your favorite? That's a big difference.
Yeah, I know. I would say important for me would be maybe like Black Sabbath.
That's got to be something groundbreaking or something,
Brat, the Hitman Hart, wasn't afraid of pain.
No, he wasn't. I'm not a snob. I just that everyone is beneath me. Yeah.
Just messing with you, Glenn. Sorry for the confusion. See, you're about to cry there.
What was that about? I forget.
About the Barbie thing and the.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Well, he was a painter while he was doing music. And then when he retired from music, he did really well.
I think I hired him to come paint my house once. It looked like Captain Beefheart.
But no, he was doing really well just with his artwork. But he quit music because of his health.
A lot of musicians are like, obviously,
Yeah,
a musician,
Paul
you're an artist, but
McCartney.
they're so creative. They're
Yeah.
such creative people that
Well, look at me.
they
right?
gravitate to art. You know, Dylan, McCartney. I think John Lennon was an artist. I mean, it's Joni Mitchell.
Larry Glenn. Oh, he's having deja vu. He's having flashbacks.
Yeah, John. Oh,
I did a reaction to his song Money, and it sucked. It was terrible.
I refuse to give it a listen. I wouldn't watch your video because I don't want to hear it. I'm ignoring that.
What, you're going to buy it? Or
It didn't happen. I don't want to have any.
oh,
No,
you don't want to listen to it at all.
no. He's not getting 1 second of my time with that thing.
Michael Nolan didn't care for it either. Thoughts on Metallica? I respect them. I like their music, but I wouldn't say I'm a fan.
Yeah, it's just not in my wheelhouse. I'm just not into that stuff too much.
Closer to tenor than bass, though.
Well,
yes, I actually just I just posted a video last week on SCTV, one of the skits. So I did a reaction to it. So check
brilliant
it out.
show. Canadian too.
One of the funniest. Well,
different.
he is in a different way, though. But Ringo, nobody could drum for the Beatles like Ringo did. It wouldn't be the Beatles without Ringo. Neil Peart.
Neil Peart's pretty darn good. Ginger Baker's my all-time favorite.
Have you seen the Chuck Berry jam session featuring Yoko on vocals?
Yeah, it's hilarious. On Mike Douglas show?
Michael Douglas show. But that's what people focus on YouTube is just that and ha ha ha. But I've listened to her actual studio albums and normal songs. I like her. I like her vocals.
I got nothing but respect for Yoko. I think she's an amazing woman, but that was funny, that kind of double take when they're doing Johnny Be Good or whatever song it was. And all of a sudden Yoko and what the hell's that? It is kind of funny.
Yeah, I'm not into Blind Melon. I know the band. Yeah,
I only like Melon that can see. I like Melon that can see, that has good eyesight. You know what? I bet Phil Collins. Phil Collins was in Hard Day's Night.
Yeah.
He was in the studio audience when they were doing the theater thing or something. Oh, that's cool, Art. It's only been over the past 5-10 years that I really got heavy and started to appreciate Rush more.
Glenn used to see Rush in a bar.
Yeah, they were
starting out.
I was like 18 years old.
They were just a regular bar band.
They were. Like you could go see them every freaking week somewhere. Headquarters.
What the F is Larry's laugh gigalillo? Yeah.
I don't know what I saw you did that, John. I don't know why you would insult Leonard Cohen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you like Leonard Cohen, Larry?
Yeah. From what I've heard, I would.
Do you have any Leonard Cohen albums?
No. Yeah. Death of Samantha is a pretty great tune. Yeah. Excuse me. Any thoughts on the Ruddles? I have their CD, all of their music, and I have the movie. I love it.
Oh, you have the movie, eh?
Yeah.
When I get another DVD player, I have to borrow that off. You haven't seen it for so long. That was outstanding.
Yep. some guy ate a raw octopus and it
maybe
later
got in
in
his
his
throat
throat,
and he
and
choked and
so he
died.
choked and died. That is a
Wow,
sad story.
that is bad.
Thank you for letting us
And
know
that
about
just is
that.
a good message for all of us out
I'm
there.
not going to be able to sleep tonight now.
Cook your octopus.
Make sure your octopuses are cooked.
That's right. Larry, do you watch Shark Week on TV?
What is it?
Shark Week.
What's that?
It's on the Discovery Channel. It's a week where they do nothing but show documentaries on sharks.
No.
It's fantastic.
Okay. Yes, we are living in the Barbie world.
That was a song, remember, a few years ago?
Yeah.
Phil talks about Hard Day's Night in the book, too. Cool. Cork cloud map for your turntable. Does that reduce static? Is there any other advice for reducing static? Wow. Those anti-static guns are good, but they're expensive. They're like $100.
No, but he's asking, does that reduce
The
static?
Cork, Matt, I'm not sure. It came with my turntable, so I'm not sure.
So do you get static with your vinyl?
I don't get any static, but I keep a air purifier in the room. I dust a lot. I don't have a dry room. Like, make sure you've got a lot of moisture in your room. Use a humidifier.
And he doesn't have any cats.
Yeah, and I would definitely get those static guns work great. I don't know if you've seen them, Larry, but like they set off like a charge, like someone shocking you. If you put it up at your it would be like almost like a stun gun if you put it on your arm or something. But and they're expensive. They're about $100, but they really take the static away.
Oh yeah. Like 200 motels. I don't like that.
Does he mean that weird things about Frank Zappa's life that you don't agree with, or albums that
Oh,
you?
have you heard weird things about Frank Zappa that you don't?
I mean,
Oh,
about the
I see what you
person
mean.
or about the music?
Yeah. I just enjoy the music. I think he was a great guy.
Yeah.
I'm sure he had his faults like everybody else does.
Yeah.
But yeah, if that's what you mean.
He didn't eat shit on stage. That was one of the big themes. Remember that rumor?
Glenn, it's poo poo on my channel.
And what I liked about it was he addressed it in his book, his autobiography, and he put the closest I came to eating crap was at a Holiday Inn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a couple of Van der Graaf Generator albums. Yeah, he's a pretty good drummer. Oh, Ainsley Dunbar. Paul, have you got that latest Zappa release, Funky Nothingness? Because Ainsley Dunbar is all over that. It's fantastic.
My comments are showing up for some reason. I might have missed it by accident. I might, I'm a human being. I might miss a comment or two, or it's just YouTube sometimes too.
Yeah.
Kind of screws things up.
I know why your comments aren't showing. It's because you haven't given Larry $2 for his prompt.
Yeah, it's $2.
Yeah.
So do you remember, like, when you saw Rush at the bars? Do you remember Geddy's vocals back then? Like,
he had that.
You didn't like it, or?
But I was not a huge fan. No, I was not a huge Rush fan for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know if I know that song, John. I'm the only person on earth who's never seen a Simpsons episode.
No, I used to like them, but I can't name probably the episode about Grand Funk Railroad.
Yeah, I gained so much respect for him as a musician. Like, I mean, the stuff he was doing all at once, playing the bass and all these pedals and the things and singing these and
knitting on stage all at the same time.
Man, the guy's a monster.
No,
I believe that.
Okay, back to painting. I tried octopus once. Notice I said once. Rock on, people. Thank you, Michael.
I like calamari.
Lumpy gravy sounds great.
I think a burnt weenie sandwich is actually sounds pretty good. And Frank actually used to eat those.
Fingerprints on records isn't.
It's not good.
Have you
I want
gotten
to hear my
around?
latest pet peeve, Larry. I'm not a big fan of Discogs because I think it's a good resource if it's used properly, but I find everybody and their brother now is an expert on how much their records are worth, and I think it's changed how much you have to pay for records, and it drives me nuts. I'm in a thrift store yesterday or a couple of days ago, and I find a Joni Mitchell album called Chalk Marks on a Rainstorm, which is not one of her better albums. And it was absolutely mint. Someone dropped it off. It's like you just tore the wrapper off and opened it up. It was perfect. A thrift store, $12.99 for a record. You're going on Discogs now to look and see how much they should sell their records for at a frickin' Value Village. Drives me nuts.
Yeah.
You should be buying that record for $3. Have you gotten around to hearing Sloan yet?
Yeah, Sloan's great.
Yeah, they're a good band. Canadian band, yeah. Basic brush from the 70s seems to work. Shake the record and it will get rid of static. I think it's a great album, but I don't think it's their best. I think it's got to be Surrealistic Pillow or Volunteers.
Yep. Journey back before they were.
I did not know Ainsley Dunbar played with Journey.
Yeah, they were like jazz rock. They were serious. They weren't commercial.
Well, they came out of Santana, right?
Yeah. Okay, back to painting. I tried. Oh, I saw that already. I'm broke. Can I owe it to you? Yes. You owe me money.
Yeah, me too, Art.
I gave up on it, Paul. I just didn't.
I gave up on 200 Motels too. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you don't like it because it's a lot of Flo and Eddie and stuff.
No, it's all the orchestral.
Oh, see, I like that stuff.
Yeah.
That's the stuff on 200 Motels I like. That's funny.
My burnt feet are better now, fully healed. Good times. That's good to know.
Oh, that's the dude with the burnt feet.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, good to hear. Sorry, Gary, I forgot your name didn't ring in there.
Didn't ring a bell.
That's good news, man.
I've never seen King of the. Well, I know of it, but I've never watched it. Yes, I love Funky Nothingness.
Fantastic. Oh, The Future. Okay, that's actually wasn't written for the movie. Then they just used it.
What's the point in having a vinyl that makes a pop? I know.
Well, unless you like pop.
Yep.
Max Webster was another band that played in the high schools or in bars. Well, it is an oxymoron now. Yeah, it's silly. I think the CDs now are $3 each. They used to be $1.
Pierre, one of the first videos I saw of Larry was how to clean vinyl records. Hilarious, Larry. In which stores do you find your recent CDs? Anywhere, like Sam the Record Man. Glenn, wake up.
Well, you got also like there's a used store in Belleville called Chumley's, which you can get some stuff. And
Amazon a lot too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm mostly Amazon.
But that cleaning records video I did, there's a lot of people that seriously took it seriously, and they were like attacking me, like, how stupid am I? And they're the ones that are stupid. It's a comedy video, folks. Oh, I wouldn't want to see that. I think Glenn would like Gong. I've heard a little bit of them.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I've listened or not. Oh, yeah, it's a great album. It's definitely a more challenging listen than the other ones, but it's amazing.
Yeah. They have some talent.
Yeah.
Glenn, no, but me, yes. And my favorite is How Dare You. I have all of those albums.
The one with I'm Not in Love or whatever it was, is that the original soundtrack?
Yep.
I'm disappointed in that album. I thought I would really like. I mean, those guys are really talented guys, but I just couldn't get into that album. I need to try another one.
Can you clean records in a dishwasher? You can if you want. Yes, I love the Gong Show.
Anybody's actually is looking for an affordable record cleaner, like a vacuum system that really cleans, rather than going for like the expensive $1,000 units. Check out a thing called the Squeaky Clean record cleaning machine. Squeaky Clean, like for under $200, you can have a really good cleaning system. The Gong Show, yeah, remember Chuck Barris? Did you used to watch that show, Larry, The Unknown Caller?
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Yeah. Sherman Hensley is what he was going to write. Yeah, he was a fan of prog, like I think Nectar and
Sherman Hensley, the
yeah,
guy,
he was a prog rock fan. Yeah,
the black dude who was in that show.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Greg Rowley's got a great voice. That's what turns it. Was it Steve Perry was Journey?
Yep.
I can't stand that guy's voice.
Yeah, there you go. I know Sherman Hemsley like Gong. Seriously, he was a big prog
That's crazy.
fan. Yeah.
No, I don't like it. I don't like that.
Sorry, Gong. Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Nectar's on an episode of The Jeffersons. I saw that.
I did not know that.
Gene the Dancing Machine.
Yeah. Never that guy.
But they got away with some. There are some pretty
Raunchy, yeah.
like the popsicle episode. I don't know if you remember that.
No.
Two girls with popsicles.
Oh,
That's all I'll say.
J.P. Morgan was the girl
Yeah.
always on the woman always on there. I've been watching Corey since about 1993. My wife has been watching. She got me into it. She's been watching it since she was a little kid, like back in the 60s. So.
Yeah, the popsicle twins.
I wonder if you looked up on YouTube search, you could find Gong Show episodes.
Oh yeah, it's on there.
Yeah? Is it?
Yeah.
Remember Chuck Barris? Didn't he try and say he was a CIA agent or something?
Yeah, maybe he was. Yeah, he wrote a book, and he said in the book that he was I don't know.
We're both fans of Uriah Heep.
Yep. Demons and Wizards for the win.
July Morning is a great song off of Look at Yourself. My favorite Uriah Heep song is Salisbury off the album of the same name. Back when mainstream was fun.
I never saw FM. I've heard of it.
I saw it eventually. I don't know if I saw it when it first came out.
I forget his name, but he was I forget.
I thought he was unknown.
No, he was a kind of well-known comic. I just forget his name. Maybe somebody can look it up. Chuck as CIA. Yep.
Yeah, he said he was a CIA agent. Chuck Barris, unbelievable.
We're all caught up.
We are?
Yeah.
We've been on for an hour and 40 minutes, Larry.
Well, it's almost time to go.
And I can see you grabbing your shoulder.
Let's go quickly through what we showed at the beginning. 10 albums that we hope some of you, if you haven't heard them, you check them out. For me, they include Gene Clark's No Other. Yes, Magnification. Canned Heat, Future Blues. Arthur Brown's Kingdom Come, Galactic Zoo Dossier. Elvis Costello, King of America. Paul McCartney, Chaos and Creation in the Backyard. The Guess Who, Share the Land. The Pretty Things. Parachute. And I don't know if you've heard this album before, Glenn, but the Beach Boys' Pet Sounds.
I've never heard that.
And Glenn, what did you have?
I had, again, like you, Larry, Pretty Things, Parachute, Patto, Patto, Lydia Lovelace, Somewhere Else, Stephen Wilson, Hand Cannot Erase. Oh, I Am the Moon, Tedeschi Trucks, or any Tedeschi Trucks album for that matter. Spirit, The 12 Dreams of Dr. Sardonicus. Deep Purple, self-titled, their third album, Deep Purple Mach 1. Another one that we matched on, Arthur Brown's Kingdom Come, Galactic Zoo Dossier. I love the Salisbury album. Thanks, Paul. Me too. Joe Walsh, Barnstorm. And Kurt Weill, Watch My Moves. Oh, yeah, that movie. I forgot. He made a movie about it.
Oh, probably, but
I'm trying to think. There's probably classic bands I never paid attention. Like if you consider classic, like Metallica and bands like that, I would have a whole list of those kind of bands.
Yeah, there's going to be lots of classic albums that
Yeah.
we've never heard. I like that. Larry, I'm seriously going to go listen to No Other and Magnification today. Thank you, Paul.
Well,
But, you know, with any album, just be in the mood to sit back and really listen to it.
and both those albums get better with each listen.
Yeah.
So listen more than once, Paul.
Yeah. You have to. And then let us know what you think. Both of those albums suck. He'll be mad next time he comes on, right?
That's an hour I'll never get back. Yeah.
Never gonna listen to you guys again.
Those idiots.
You guys don't know about music. There's a clip of Frank Zappa on Make Me Laugh, actually.
What's Make Me Laugh? Is that a TV show or something? Like a game
Somebody
show?
mentioned it here. Remember the show Make Me Laugh?
No.
Love King of America. There's Randall
Hey,
Nelson
Randy.
to back me up. Thank you, Randall. Yeah, Murray Langston.
Mary Langston. Oh.
So what's coming up on your channel, Glenn?
Well, I picked up. Like this past week, I discovered the band Cake, so I picked up a couple more CDs, and I picked up like 5 CDs yesterday, Larry. So I'm going to do my next video is going to be unveiling the CDs I picked up tomorrow morning. You guys make me laugh.
So describe Cake. I mean
Cake
the
is an
band.
old rock band from the 90s, so it's kind of quirky, great guitar, but they add weird things to it. Like you're listening to this guitar song, and all of a sudden a trumpet comes in. It's really cool, and the lyrics are really quirky. Like a song called "Sheep Go to Heaven, Goats Go to Hell." There's a song "Satan Is My Roadmap," and the songs are really weird, but really interesting guitar, great vocals, great lyrics, just really good.
Are they still together?
I don't know. I don't know. I think these albums came out in the 90s. Maybe the 70s.
I've heard of them, but I
Long
just
time
never
ago.
heard their music.
Oh, so good. And the one I bought yesterday, I played it today. They do a cover of Gloria Gaynor's "I Will Survive,"
Yeah.
and it comes in with this great guitar in it, and then it's
Yeah.
just a brilliant cover.
So now they're replacing. What was your last obsession?
I don't
Your,
know. Well, I'm not really obsessed. I'm just really liking them.
I bet you haven't played David Bowie in like 6 months.
Yeah, David Bowie's kind of
You've forgotten
taking
all
a
about
back seat.
David Bowie.
Well, I've discovered so many other stuff. Like
Yeah.
it's just that's what's great about music. I mean, there's just so much.
Yeah. Cake does a song, Frank Sinatra, just for you.
Yeah, it's on one of the albums I bought. Yeah.
Well, okay.
I'm sure he wrote it for me.
So yeah, and stay tuned. We'll be doing our CD exchange review. I've got Jimi Hendrix, Procol Harum, and Jethro Tull, King Crimson, and Free to review and rank. And what have you got, Glenn?
I've
One
got
more time.
Alice Cooper, Killer, the reissue. Alice Coltrane, Journey. I'll remember this at some point without looking. In Satchidananda. Larry. One of the greatest jazz albums I've ever heard. Just perfect for me. Jane Siberry, the something.
The Walking.
Elvis Costello, A Boy Named If, and I still don't understand why they would name your kid If, but
Yep.
And Sly and the Family Stone, Life.
Okay. So make sure you're subscribed to my channel and Glenn's. And thank you, everybody. Cake reminds me of a mix of Weezer and Pavement. We're gonna get going here. Yeah, we need to get Glenn to love.
No, I can't. That's on my. I can't listen.
Killer is killer. Yeah. So thank you, everybody. Subscribe to Glen Kellaway from the Basement. I'll have a link in below the video there. And say goodbye to everybody here. Ernest, later, fellas. Thanks. Yeah, they were friends.
Yeah.
I'm taking off. Later.
Thanks for joining us.
Sub to both of you guys. Thank you, Pleasant.
Art, you're the best. Thank you.
Everyone, bye.
Art's great. I got a couple of their albums. Excellent stuff.
So thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Larry.
Bye-bye.
Bye.